is the Wiiviewer,
The LilWiiviewer,
and we're gonna review
Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL.
I actually heard that XL stands for extremely lame.
Punch Time Explosion was originally a 3DS game. This is literally a port of the game.
Seriously, it's just ridiculous. The game plays like a 3DS game. I'll fully admit to that, because a lot of 3DS games are really bad. You see, what it wants to be is a Super Smash Bros. Clone, and it also wants to have the emissary missions as well. The problem is the single-player game in this is just so boring. Now, starting off playing this game, I had what I call Castlevania Judgment Syndrome. All right, let's play Castlevania Judgment. What? Why can't I skip the intro? What button do you push to skip the intro? I'm pushing every button. You can't skip the intro? For a while, I thought my Wiimote was broken. It wasn't until I realized that I had my GameCube controller plugged in. The game disables your Wiimote nunchuck if it happens to notice that there's a GameCube controller plugged in. So basically, it's saying that the Wiimote nunchuck's controls suck, so you shouldn't use them. And I agree. Let's play. I just don't get it when games do this. Why shut off the Wiimote's ability to be used just because the GameCube controller is plugged in? Are those publishers really trying to say the GameCube controller is way better and you really shouldn't use the Wiimote? That's not really showing a lot of confidence for the Wii's main gimmick. I actually found the Wiimote's controls better than the GameCube controller's controls. What did you think of the graphics?
The graphics...
Agreed.
Graphics are hard to say.
Do you think that they tapped the potential of the Wii?
No, they tapped the potential of the 3DS.
How lazy can you be to just port it straight to the Wii?
You see those really lame effects in the first level? Like when the buildings are falling down and stuff? You really know this was meant for a DS.
Most of the characters are locked in the fighter, so in order to get them, you have to play the single-player game, which is kind of a chore, and I think that's unfortunate. The single-player game has you go from one TV series theme level to another. It has you trying to stop Villajax from taking over the TV worlds. When you go to level, it's the same type of thing over and over again. Jump, hit a few people, move on to the next part. Now, I will say there were some sections where you had to dodge electricity while having to fire your gun at the same time, and that could be challenging. The one thing that I think is absolutely, without a doubt, unexcusable is that there's only one voice actor, and that's the narrator. This kind of a game needs the character voices from the TV series. It's not a question, it needs to be done. Kids that buy this game expect the character voices.
And they're in this game, they just don't actually use them much. They say, "Hi!" and then they just stop.
I know, it was so annoying.
You'd expect them to narrate it once they say their first word, but then, nope. They say their little line, and then they stop, and you have to read all this text. That is ridiculous.
The single player could have been a little bit more fun if the characters maybe had told me what's going on in their own way, with their own voice inflections and ways of delivering dialogue.
I agree with you.
Now let's get into the fighter part of this game, since that's the one that had the most options. What'd you think of it?
There was a lot of options, but it's a little too cluttered.
Just like in Brawl, you have to punch, kick, or throw your opponents out of the ring in order to win the match. And you have all the same basic controls as the characters in Brawl. The problem is that the controls are so loose at times, especially the jumping controls. The best part of the fighter is the super move that you could do. When you hit someone, you can collect the power gems that they drop, and when you get enough, the power bar shows you can do a special move. It was fun to see the animation, but the move itself can vary from free flight to some nice attacks. It really depends on the character that you're using whether or not the special move was going to be awesome. I did know some of the characters, and I tended to play the characters that I did know. The problem was the characters didn't really feel like we were playing as those characters. Like when you're playing Brawl, you really feel like you're playing as a fat, overweight plumber. One issue that just kept popping up for both of us was the game would lock up and freeze. A lot more than you would expect. I think it happened to us like 4 times. And I know it's not my Wii this time, because you know I bought a new one. So I blame this game completely on this one. Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL. Would you buy, rent, or skip?
This is a definite rentish. If you want to play a battle game where you can really remember really old and somewhat retired cartoons, then this is the game for you.
I'm going to say skip. Unless you really want to play as old Cartoon Network show characters, you're not really missing anything. Because the game is so average and vanilla, there just isn't anything appealing to make me say, yeah, this game is totally worth renting it for $5 a week. I say you should skip it.